Yo, what is good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned. Today, we have a new bi-weekly update for JJK Phantom Parade. It looks like these guys saw the Deadman get on their ass the last time the bi-weekly update came out 2 days late, and they were on that shit this time. So they figured out, they learned from their mistakes, and that's why I can respect Billy. But if they have any more slip-ups in the future, you know, the Deadman is on that ass time and time again. And since the Deadman is on that ass, you guys can go down below, leave that like, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the comment section as well. But let's get right into it. I'm very excited about this bi-weekly update for a very, very specific reason that is not shown in the bi-weekly update, but I will give my reason for why I think it will come with this bi-weekly update. So, Global Edition event bi-weekly update. Also, there are already people saying like, oh, we're not getting this, we're not getting... Man, nobody gives a fuck anymore. At this point, bro, if you're crying about the game at this point, bro, go develop that shit. I don't know what to tell you, bro. But you can see here from April 4th to April 17th, so right before it is at a 14-day mark, we're going to be having Maki dancing among the flowers. I guess I can go over all these characters and everything since they're coming out right now, but we're going to have Maki dancing among the flowers gacha. I believe the page in this one is called Nimble Curse Speech User. You can see Maki doing a backflip here. Then we have the green Nobara banner that's going to come in a week after that one. It's going to leave a week after that one. And that one is actually going to be dropping with Nobara and Curse Spirit Beach, which unfortunately, I know that neither one of these characters are worth summoning on because Gojo and Sukuna are, I think, 39 days away at this point. You know, I like to give y'all the daily update all the time. Oh my gosh, they're they're not 37 days away. Saying 37 days away is a bit of a misconception. The half anniversary is in 37 days. And by the point, if you don't have the cubes that you need to summon for these characters at the start of the half anniversary, are you going to have it by the time they come out? If they come out like a week into the half anniversary? No, that's why I keep saying 37 days. Once 37 days comes in, that's when you really got to lock in. Because they are going to goof your ass and throw in that Zone Yuji first. But realistically, Zone Yuji is not the top prize. I'm sorry, bro. We have Hidden Inventory Gojo, and honestly, Hidden Inventory Gojo has been out for like a little while for us. I mean, he was out for a while on JP as well, but like we've had access to getting Hidden Inventory Gojo for a little bit here. But since they're trying to sync up both versions of the game, we should get Hidden Inventory Gojo back a lot faster than the Japanese version did because he's going to get added to the standard banner. But nonetheless, I believe that, and I'm not saying don't summon for Zone Yuji at all. I'm saying don't summon for Zone Yuji initially. I need to make that clear. Zone Yuji is a good unit. I've actually used Zone Yuji on the Japanese version of the game before I lost my best reroll account. And even still, like, Zone Yuji hits really hard. I mean, any Yuji in the game hits really hard, I feel like there's like a thing in the gacha games. Like, look at Black Clover Mobile and Asta, right? I feel like there's a thing in gacha games where characters who only skew hard to one stat and can't have both of the attacking stats, I feel like they just naturally, innately hit harder. I don't know why that is, but it just feels like they wipe units all the time. Yujis obviously are going to go down in tier as the game gets older because the bosses are going to get harder and have more stats and everything. But even still, every new version of Yuji that they drop is typically very hard hitting as soon as he drops. But even still, guys, even though Yuji is good and he introduces the zone mechanic and everything, what I will say is Gojo, Gojo, Gojo. That's all I have to say. Because it's Gojo with his domain expansion, he is the best support in the game. He is a hell of a damage dealer. He's the best unit in the game. Realistically, Sukuna's going to be the best damage dealer. I say this every single video. I'm like a broken record, but I want y'all to understand that I'm not kidding when I say these things. So please, 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 I recommend skipping Yuji. And some people say they're going to summon for Yuji because, you know, they're not summoning for Gojo anymore, which makes sense. If you ran out of cubes before Gojo came back and you just had no means to summon for him, then yes, I can see Yuji being your only choice because we still, even though the hidden inventory characters are going to come back to the standard banner a lot faster than on the JP version, hopefully at the same time as the JP version between July and September, both of the games got their updates for the standard banner and like, not in September, I'm sorry, I'm not, both of the games, I think when it lines up for the first year anniversary, the rate at which the banners came out should sync up somewhat. I did a whole video breaking down that math and everything. It was a very complicated process that I did that math through. Not really a very complicated process, but it's very complicated for me to reference in videos if you haven't seen that video, so go watch that video. but still, I think that you should skip Yuji to make sure you get your Gojo first, because who knows how many summons that's going to take you. Like the other day I was recording a video and I got excited because I'm almost at 10 multis and I've been grinding that. Like, I can't say free to play because I pay for the Phantom Parade Pass, and that provides me a nice little amount of cubes, but it's not like it makes like this crazy world shattering difference. Maybe over a couple of months, yes, but even still, for the most part, my cubes are free to play. Actually, only 1,745 of my cubes, I think, are paid cubes. And then the rest of them, all the other 27K, 26K, all those are free to play cubes. So very proud of myself for actually not spending all my stamina like I said I would. That was the main place my stamina was going. It wasn't even summons, that was the main place my cubes were going. Not even summons, but stamina. But let's get back to this. Let's just go through this full bi-weekly update here. So we already looked at Maki's banner. We already looked at Nobar's banner. We are getting a Toji rerun. I'm going to be honest with you. The secret shop bundles sometimes offer you summon tickets just straight up for specific banners. If there's some secret shop bundles to summon for Toji, maybe, chat, maybe, I don't know. But I'm not going to use any cubes on it though. I'm just very far removed from using cubes on banners that are not Gojo or Sukuna, or anniversary banners at this point, or at least right now during this point, because we still are not past that little barrier. Once we get past that barrier, you still have to kind of save up a lot. I guess you don't really have to save up a lot because they are trying to sync the games after the second anniversary for JP and first anniversary for Global. We saw them say that literally word for word, verbatim. Osuna, or whatever, whoever the developer's name was. But nonetheless, since they're planning on doing that, I'm pretty sure after the first anniversary or half anniversary for us, it's going to be a very crazy push to getting the full anniversary stuff, because you got to think. The 1.5 anniversary will probably sync up with our first anniversary. If not, they might. Well, no, that's the only way I think. I think that's the only way. Because if we're syncing after the second anniversary, that means that the second anniversary for JP and the first anniversary for Global will probably be different. But there will be a lot of features that are symmetrical in both games, right? But then afterwards, we'll get that lining up and Global will fully catch up. So maybe by the time the 2.5 anniversary, I think by the 2.5 anniversary, we're certainly synced up, like no doubt, hands down. But yes, JJK JJK Hidden Inventory Premature Death Part 3, gotcha. Then you can see here on the next part of the bi-weekly update, we're also having a story event with Maki. Then we're also going to be getting a memory quest and a map event. So all of this stuff, this comes on the 4th. These two things come on the 11th. No, these three things come on the 11th. We're going to get Esso and Kechizu, and I'm going to be honest with you, this time around when Esso and Kechizu come back, they are probably incorporating SP battle. So I'm going to just go ahead and let y'all know now, from my experience of counting up how many cubes we get from all of these different events. So from all these events being out at the same time altogether, from my math, the story event should be giving us 2,540 cubes. Honestly, the story events keep the same structure every single time. When it gets a little bit into the future of the game, you will start to see some story events, map event. Like literally, I think every event just gets expanded a little bit more, so you get a little bit more rewards from them. But right now, we can go based off of the normal numbers that I've already calculated from prior videos and just say, the story event should provide 2,540 cubes. The memory quest should provide 1,100 cubes. The map event should provide 2,910 cubes, 2,910 cubes, I'm sorry. And then the imaginary realm battle should provide 1,200 cubes. And if you cannot beat Extreme 1 and 2, you can expect a little less than that. But if you can beat those, then you should still be sitting at 1,200 cubes. That altogether is 7,750 cubes. It does feel kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie, to have 2 or 4 events out at the same damn time and only getting 2 multis worth. I will always be a proponent that we definitely need to just be getting more cubes in these celebrations, just because, like, what else do we have to farm for cubes? There's not a lot of content we can go into and just make sure we get a cube. Like, bro, this is not Grand Cross where every week I know I'm getting 50 cubes from PvP. Or I know I'm getting this many cubes daily for free. Like, we have daily missions, but like them daily missions don't be adding up to shit. What really gives us our cubes is farming out these events right here. So these events need to give us a little bit more. This is really the only way we're farming our cubes. I mean, we got story mode too, but even still, story mode needs to give more as well. But I will go over, let me go get all of these pages gathered up on the side over here from our Bible, the Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade Wiki. We will go over all of these things, and then lastly, I will talk about why I'm so excited for this strip of events specifically. Alright guys, so here we are. I remember I wasn't going over the characters originally because the characters aren't worth summoning at all, but I mean, like, yo, I'm still gonna say, not worth summoning, but I'll still go over them just because, you know, y'all probably want to see that. This Maki, I think, is actually pretty solid. I think her damage is pretty good. It's crazy that they're dropping 2 green units back to back, by the way. Like, I don't know, I think that's a little wild. They're skipping the schedule around and they just like cluster effing. You know, I'm gonna try to be a little more PG from now on. I know kids watch my videos, actually. I've actually gone out to work and served a table and had people look at me and say, like, I think our kids watch you. That's insane to me. So GG to me, I guess. Pat on the good old back skis here. That kind of hurt. But deals 210% melee damage to selected enemy. I'm sorry, 211%. I'll round up or round down. 211% melee taijutsu damage to a selected enemy. When a critical hit is performed, increases the selected enemy's taijutsu damage received by 30% for 3 turns. Oh my gosh, I can't count this morning. And then effective for green type attacks. So she's literally green, or I guess the damage reduction is effective if the person attacking is green. Okay. Critical hit rate, 60% on all hits. Okay. I thought it was saying that it was 60% critical hit rate and also on all the hits are crits. I was gonna say, what does that mean exactly? But no, 60% chance to crit on every single hit. Skill 2. Increases own damage by 20% for 1 time. The less enemies there are in a wave, the greater the damage boost. This one I think is pretty cool because I thought it showed you how much the damage boost was per enemies in the wave, but increases all enemies taijutsu damage received by 15% for 2 turns. Effective for green type attacks. So she is going to be like a very powerful green unit. They limit them by saying effective for green type attacks and then like give them crazy stuff just because they're like they are meant to do just one specific, or work with one specific team. Really, you can work them on other teams, but I mean, like, how well would it work out for you if you don't use mono green? I mean, you can use buffers that are different colors and then use a green DPS along with her, like Hollow Purple Gojo or something like that, but like even still, I think that she wants to take the front reins as a DPS herself. This skill does have a cooldown, so you can start to see now, even though the Maki characters don't use cursed energy, they are starting to get cooldowns now. Then right here, skill 3. Increase own break damage by 300%. Funny enough, this skill doesn't have a cooldown. This one does. This one does not. Increases own break damage by 300% 1 time. Increases own critical hit rate by 100%. 3 turns. Deals 181% taijutsu, melee taijutsu damage to the selected enemy. I think this is why I thought this Maki was good, because the break damage is absolutely insane. You are ripping butt cheeks with that break damage right there. Also, the critical hit rate going up to 100% is absolutely ridiculous. The damage on this skill itself is kind of weak though compared to other skills, but at least the critical hit rate boost is 3 turns. So realistically, you could probably just like body the boss's break gauge with this and then switch over to other skills after that. I don't know. Ultimate is going to be increases own damage by 50%. The higher your HP is, the greater the damage boost is, up to 150%, and then deals 959% melee taijutsu damage to the selected enemy 5 hits. So again, not really super crazy, just a basic damage dealer. But even still, she seems like a pretty competent damage dealer, I'd say so. Maybe she can be a replacement for Green Yuji until Green Yuji gets his update, and then, you know, all of a sudden Green Yuji's back on top of her. Wait, did that sound right? No, it did not. Anyway, early bird gets the worm. At the start of each wave, increases own taijutsu by 10% for 2 turns, and it decreases damage received by 7% for 2 turns. Crazy that she has a better tank mechanic than most tanks in the game. That's kind of hilarious that she's an attacker. Anyway, like, bro, why is Defender a class in this game? I will harp on this every single day. Why is Defender a class in this game when we don't have defense as a stat and y'all barely give Defender units damage reduction? I don't know. At the start of each turn, heavily restriction. At the start of each battle, increases own taijutsu by 15%. The less enemies there are in a wave, the greater the taijutsu damage boost is, up to 30%, and then decreases own damage received by 8%. At the start of each turn, recovers 2% HP. Again, want to point out, having 8% damage reduction at the start of the wave sucks balls, but it's still better defense mechanics than most of the tanks in the fucking game, and this is an attacker. And 7% damage reduction at the start of each wave for 2 turns is actually kind of crazy. You just have 15% damage reduction just built in. Better than tanks. And she heals. Better than... Why is Defender a class in this game? Okay. Then, I don't know why I looked directly at the Maki. I was supposed to do this in order of priority. Maki is the least of your priority on her banner because, or I'm sorry, order of priority based on going Maki, then Nobara, because that's the order their banners were in. That's the order they'll release in, and then I'm going in priority order of their stuff. You'll see what I'm saying. Really, what's most important is Girl School Sorcerer, because you get that for free. It costs you no cubes. You'll be earning cubes while earning this. When command skills or ultimate skills is activated, it increases own taijutsu damage by 30%, and then the same thing, but 40% instead when you get it to 3-star. And when debuffing an enemy, increases own taijutsu damage by 40%. So, if you debuff an enemy, you can actually increase your taijutsu damage by 80%, which isn't too bad, but I mean, at that point, couldn't you just use like-minded sisters? I don't know. Still, nonetheless, it is a free-to-play page. You will be earning cubes to earn this. Not really getting cubes for earning this directly, but you'll be earning cubes in the process of getting this. Anyway, we'll look at the page on Maki's banner, which is Nimble Curse Speech User. I think this page is actually pretty solid. When command skill or ultimate, I'll read this at all levels. When command skill or ultimate skill is activated, increases taijutsu by 25% for 3 turns, increases jujutsu damage by 25% for 3 turns, and ignores darkness when attacking 1 time. That's very good for bosses that like to debuff a lot, that like to lower your damage because you're boosting your damage back up for 3 turns at that. And you're also getting rid of the darkness, or ignoring the darkness at the very least. You're not getting rid of it, but you're ignoring it so you can get that hit on that turn. And also, it only has a 5-turn cooldown, which I would say in itself is very high tier, because a lot of the really good DPS pages in the game are 6-turn cooldowns. And then at the start of battle, recovers own cursed energy by 10. Activates again after every 6 turns that have passed. So this page is actually pretty excellent. But the reason why I'm going over the page in Maki is because you definitely have a chance to get them for free from the free multi that you'll be able to farm from the event. That's why I'm going over any character at this point, because you can try to pull them for free with 1 multi. And then after that, I recommend you put that shit down like that boy Andy did Woody in that new Toy Story movie. I don't want to play with you any. Yeah, drop that shit, bro. No more summons on the banner past the free one, because the anniversary is so damn close. Let's go ahead and get over to the Nobara event and the Nobara pages that are coming with her. And before I go over this, I do want to reiterate, with that story event that Maki is coming out with, you should be looking at 2,540 cubes at the very least. If they want to add more to the story event, that's excellent, more cubes. But as far as we know right now, 2,540. This is the free-to-play page that's going to be coming with the map event that's linked to Nobara's banner. This one is called Aoi Todo's Youth Minerals. Whenever, I'm just going to read it 5-star. When command skill or ultimate skill is activated, so any skill, increases own damage dealt by 20% for 2 turns, and that's only effective for green units, 9-turn cooldown. Absolutely horrible. 20% damage boost, type-specific damage boost, 9-turn cooldown. Dog shit. Increases all enemies' taijutsu damage received and jujutsu damage received by 10% for 3 turns at the start of each wave. Effective for green type attacks. Now, this page is dog shit. That's all I had to say. No, it's not all I had to say. This page is dog shit because 9-turn cooldown is horrible. We just talked about how 6-turn cooldown is excellent. And then right here, only a 20% damage dealt increase just for green. It's very slim pickings for what you're asking me to give up here. I could put on a much better page that could give me a much higher damage boost, that could heal me, that could heal my entire team, that could give me damage reduction, and is going to have a much lower cooldown. So you're asking a lot of me to use this for the actual active effect. The passive effect is not that bad, but again, just for green. And honestly, 10% ain't that crazy. 10% ain't that crazy. I don't know. So this page, not too great. Let's move on to the premium page on the banner, which is actually pretty good. This one is Cursed Spirit Beach. This one's only on ultimate. When ultimate is activated, increases own damage dealt by 70%, 1 turn, 1 time, effective for green. So again, does kind of suck because it's just for green units, but at the same time, it is a higher, much higher like damage dealt buff. And they do pages like this for like every color, I feel like. This one is 7-turn cooldown. Not my favorite, but not the worst. It could have been 9 turns, to be honest, and a shitty page in general. Then at the start of turn, if own HP is 50% or below, increases own cursed energy consumption efficiency for 2 turns. I feel like this might be able to turn your play experience around a tiny bit, you know? Say that cursed energy consumption, like it makes skills 5 cursed energy less. Sometimes you're just 5 cursed energy short for important skills. So that could be useful in some degree. Again, not something worth going balls deep on the banner for and summoning for. And then lastly, let's talk about the Nobara. I think the Nobara sucks dick, comma, balls. Yes, I think she sucks both of those things because she doesn't have a nail mechanic. Most of the time, Nobaras are really fun to use because of the nail mechanics. It feels like they really hit the nail on the head. I'm sorry, that was disgusting. But really, the nail mechanic, I think, makes Nobara's kit. So let's get to it. So, skill 1. Deals melee combined taijutsu and jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. Increases the selected enemy's taijutsu damage received by 5% for 5 turns. That's decent that it's on her first skill. She does have 200% black flash rate, so maybe I'm mistaken and her black flashes carry where her nails are not there anymore. But it's only 50% or 49% taijutsu and 115% jujutsu, so I don't know about that one. Skill 2 is going to be 15 cursed energy here. Deals ranged combined jujutsu damage equal to 91% taijutsu, 148% jujutsu to a selected enemy. Increases the selected enemy's jujutsu damage received by 16.5% for 2 turns. Really, I don't know, very menial debuff, I feel like. Right here, deals ranged combined damage equal to 115% taijutsu, 198% jujutsu to the selected enemy. Increases on damage dealt by 20% for 2 turns. Black flash, high black flash rates on all the skills basically. Ultimate straw dog technique, resonance. Deals 13-18 jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. It deals soul damage. So maybe that soul damage is just hitting a lot harder than I'm noticing. But I'm gonna be real with you. This Nobara just sounds like a very basic DPS. And honestly, I think the Maki sounds better than her. Again, I appreciate Nobara with nail mechanics. Not really the non-nail way they try to do it. And I know they're trying to branch out with the characters and not make every single variant of the character the same. But realistically, I'm okay with each variant of the character being the same as long as the character is so improved upon, the gameplay experience does not feel the same, if that makes sense, right? It's like, okay, this Nobara can still have the nail mechanic, but now the nail mechanic is so overpowered that this Nobara and the original yellow Nobara, even the red Nobara, they just feel night and day playing, you know, those characters. It's kind of like Meliodas in Grand Cross. He's always just a big damage unit that somewhat has good survivability, and most of the Meliodases are that. Sometimes they don't have the survivability, but the DPS is always there. It's just the way that you're getting it out, and it's just like sometimes that is enough. That is enough to make the play experience of the different characters feel different because they have different passives and shit. Okay. Weakening Jujutsu attack. At the start of battle, increases own taijutsu by 20% and jujutsu by 20%. The more debuffs and other statuses the enemy has, the higher the taijutsu damage and jujutsu damage is to 260%. Debuffs and statuses with a turn or time limit are not counted. Without a turn or time limit, I'm sorry, are not counted. This looks nice, but again, we gotta see how many debuffs you can get stacked up before to see how much damage Nobara is getting. So again, debuff hella, then body. But I'm like, I like to bring buffers. I feel like there's 2 different types of play styles, and sometimes it can be a hybrid of the 2, depending on what the event calls for. But I am more so a buff attack type of person, and then you have some people who are like buff, debuff attack. You know, there are some people who like to have debuff centric teams. There are some people who like to have buff centric teams. And then sometimes you gotta use both, like I said. But honestly, I'm chilling on this Nobara. This Nobara is not good enough for you to summon for before Zone Yuji if you want them, Domain Expansion Gojo, or Sukuna. Not at all. Zone Outburst. When Black Flash is performed, grants increased Jujutsu damage special to self 6 turns, recovers own cursed energy by 15, and then increased Jujutsu damage by 45%. So I think on the special skill here, it increases her Jujutsu damage by 45%, so it would add 45% to this right here. Nonetheless, I think the Nobara is not as impressive as the other Nobaras. After reading through her, I don't think she's 100% dog shit anymore. Also, this Zone Outburst thing is probably not coming for us until the half anniversary when Zone Yuji gets entered in, because if Zone is implemented into the game earlier than Zone Yuji comes, it's not going to feel like Zone Yuji is that premium of a unit. But honestly, if they do that, I might like that a little bit better, because that can also, like, once more characters have Zone, that takes one of the premium things away from, that takes one of the shiny things away from Yuji, and then he all of a sudden becomes a lot less desirable to summon for, because you have other characters who have zone effects. Now zone effects do vary from character to character, so I'm not saying you're gonna get the same zone effect that Yuji has, and the multiple turns in one turn shit is really cool, but even still, Sukuna and Gojo first. That is your priority. I'm sorry. I just gotta like keep pounding that nail. I had to say that because Nobara was on the screen. I had to keep pounding that nail on your head because, dude, some people don't be fucking getting it. Some people be summoning, and then be like, oh no, I don't have the stuff for Sukuna and Gojo. Well, okay, when did you stop summoning and saving? When? Oh, I stopped summoning, you didn't stop summoning. That's why you don't have the fucking characters you need. Stop summoning, start saving. Even if you haven't done it yet, and you're still at 0 cubes right now, you're at ground 0 right now. Like I said, you have 37 days, and hey, bro, miracles can happen, bro. Maybe they give us more stuff, I don't know. Actually, I'm about to go into the game and show that they're giving us more stuff. But let's cover the last free-to-play page from all these events that we're going to be getting. So guys, this is the last page I wanted to go over. This is going to be from the memory quest. This was completely free-to-play. It is, I think this page is dog shit. I actually thought that this was a summonable page, and I was like, I cannot believe they're asking for people's cubes for this. Then I saw it was a free-to-play page, and I was like, okay, good. You can go to the gallows with the rest of them then. That's fine. Increases own Jujutsu and Taijutsu damage, or I'm sorry, no. When Ultimate is activated, increases own Jujutsu damage by 55%. If health is 30% or less, increases Jujutsu damage by an additional 10%. Then, at 5-star, when Ultimate is activated, 60% boost to Jujutsu damage. If health is 30% or lower, 10%. So the 10% doesn't even go up. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say this right now. This page is asking you to be below 30% HP for a 70% Jujutsu damage buff. Ass. Without 30% HP, only 60%. I have other pages that can do that, bro. At least do that. At the start of a battle, grants Revival Day of Awakening status itself. When Revival Day of Awakening status is removed and own HP is 50% or less, increases own Jujutsu damage by 20% and fills ultimate gauge by 20%. I'm gonna be real, Revive sounds crazy, and you know, there's a lot of different games where Revive is crazy, but I feel like in JJK Phantom Parade, the bosses get built up to a certain point where like, the character revives and they die instantly that turn any fucking way, because defense is not a stat, and this doesn't give any damage reduction. What are they doing? This page is dog shit. But that's enough for pages. Let's go into the game, actually, let's talk about the one thing that I'm really excited about, and then we'll go into the game. Now, how many of y'all knew where I was about to end up by the time we jumped into the future on this video? How many of y'all knew we were going to be on the timeline here? This is our favorite damn part of the wiki. Why is it our favorite part of the wiki? Because you can see right here, this is the Maki event. Oh, what's that comes with the Maki event? Event Marathon campaign. That's kind of wild though. Now I will say, this came out on the 29th of September. I'm sorry. I was like, dog, this is not. I was like, September is not August, bro. No, this is showing me what? This says, are the dates above? Yeah, the dates are above. That's odd, because this literally says September 16th. No, I'm sorry, that's the end date. I always get the end dates mixed up. But even still, you can see with this Maki event here that they also got the Event Marathon campaign. So guys, I just want to go ahead and say that sometimes they give us a notice on Twitter, and then when we get into the game actually, the notice has a little more added to it whenever we get into the game actually, in the in-game announcements. And I have the game open to show you an in-game announcement right now, but this right here, Event Marathon campaign, man, if this drops with the Maki event, like I said, we should be getting 7,750 cubes at least from all this stuff coming together. If you can beat all of the regular content that we have been regularly getting, SP missions are going to be a little extra, you know, task and whatnot, but at the end of the day, 7,750 cubes if you can beat all the stuff. If they add this stuff, bruh, that's more cubes, that's recollection bits, or not recollection bits, I'm sorry. That's more cubes, that's JP, that's SSR crystals for chaotic, or SSR chaotic Jujutsu crystals, character, you know, summon tickets or recollection bit tickets, like whatever, like bro, they add this in, I'm not gonna lie. This might be a little fucking crack little 2 weeks we have right here, bro. But that's mainly why I'm excited. As soon as I saw Maki, I was like, bro, this gotta be with her side by side. But now let's go into the game itself and talk about what is eluding me right now, actually. So guys, if we come into the game and look at the in-game announcements, one, we can see that they have officially announced the wishlist feature, and the wishlist feature is literally coming April 1st. So it looks like now whenever they say that something is coming in a certain month, if it's way in advance that they're telling us, it's probably coming day one of the fucking month. Probably, because wishlist will officially be launched at 12 a.m. on April. I believe that's actually earlier than daily reset, because daily reset is usually 3 p.m. on the day, is what it says, right? Let's see. Right now, it is the 30th in-game still, and we are at 20. Oh my goodness. So I think daily reset today is when we get the wish list, because that'll be midnight exactly. Very, very interesting. But let's go back to the announcements. Oh man, if that wish list comes, like, bro, as soon as I come home, I'm geeking out. Video time. But yes, in the wish list feature, players can obtain daily login bonuses simply by logging into the game upon reaching a certain number of cumulative login days. They will receive their chosen final reward. The final reward is an SSR character or SSR recollection bit from the specified range. April 1st, 12 a.m. to April 30th, 11:59 p.m. The wishlist will be updated on the 1st of each month. Oh, so what I will say is, it does not say the wishlist will be reset. It says it will be updated. Reset would imply that you are just choosing from the same characters again, but since it says updated, it makes it sound like there will be new choices inside of it, so the wish list might be way more impactful than we think, guys. You might be able to get a pickup like Hollow Purple Gojo or Incomplete Domain Megumi or Momo if you're missing those characters, and honestly, if you're able to do that, that's nuts, because the second standard banner update, I literally have a list of characters that I want to like spend shards for to buy in case I do not summon them in the second standard banner summons. But if I can start just picking these characters up month by month for free before the next standard banner update comes out, then we're going to be looking so much better than what we expected to beforehand. About obtaining the final reward. After each monthly update of the wish list, when you first enter the wish list screen, select your desired final reward. By accumulating the required number of login days, you will receive the item. Once the final reward is selected, it cannot be changed, so please take note. You need to select final reward before starting to accumulate login days. The calculation of the first login day begins after the selection is complete. The first reward will be updated on the first of each month, or the final reward will be updated on the first of each month. So guys, it is imperative that as soon as this drops, you get into the game and you choose your character immediately, so you can automatically get started on the daily cycle. Right now, it says that the game has. I'm sorry, math is so hard. I don't look at 24-hour clocks. This one's kind of goofing me right now for some reason. But in 2 hours and 49 minutes. So daily reset. I was about to say, is this going to be something that happens right before actually, what? 12 a.m. is daily reset. So my bad. 3 p.m. is 1 a.m. in the morning for me at my time. It's so confusing keeping up with all these different time zones, bro. Y'all gotta forgive me. But it looks like at 11 a.m. we'll be able to do this. So at daily reset today. So when you log in, make sure to pick your character today. When that is hands down, you must do that, because the way they're making it sounds like that the wish list is not gonna be just like as soon as you log into the game. It sounds like you probably have to click on it. My guess is that it'll probably be over here, because whenever we have, you know, friend invite stuff going on, secret shop, or campaigns going on for double drops, it's all right here. I imagine the wish list will be right here as well, unless there's somewhere else they want to put the daily login shit. But let's go back. There's one more very interesting thing in the announcements. Chain pack coming soon. What in the hell is a chain pack? I don't remember anything like this or anybody talking about anything like this in the JP version. I don't see anything in the timeline for like implementation of chain pack or anything like this. But this is weird to me because there's a paid option and a free-to-play option. So it makes me think that this is going to be just like a Phantom Parade pass type of thing, but it's going to be like the chain pack pass. But even still, it's weird that they are announcing it right here. Do they announce all the prior passes? I feel like they do announce the passes, but maybe they don't give it its whole, like, they don't give the pass an entire notice by itself. Maybe typically the pass comes bundled into another like update or something like that. But yeah, no, apparently we're getting something called the chain pack. let's read a few more details on it. The new event chain pack will officially begin on April 1st, 3 p.m. So that one it should be at 1 a.m. tomorrow. No, 2 a.m. tomorrow, something like that, dude. Again, time zones, big confusing. And they make people who don't live in all these time zones big stupid. The chain pack event will last for 20 days. Definitely has to be a battle pass or some shit. During this period, logging in will unlock reward items. Reward items must be claimed in sequence, and you cannot skip the order to claim them. Now, that sounds a little... I've never tried to go into the Phantom Parade Pass and accept rewards past rewards that I have not accepted yet. I've never tried that, but if that is a thing in the Phantom Parade Pass, then this is definitely just going to be a pass. But if it's not, then that seems very interesting. Event will last for 20 days. During the period, logging in will unlock reward items. Reward items must be claimed in sequence, and you cannot skip the order to claim them. The event will officially start on April 1st, 2025 at 3 p.m. UTC +9 and will last for 20 days. During the event period, you must log in and click on the reward item to claim it. Rewards cannot be claimed automatically. Each stage reward must be claimed in order and cannot be skipped to claim the next one. The rewards include both free and paid claim options. The content of this feature may be changed without prior notice. So, man, they love saying that shit. They love saying not without prior notice. Bro, what if every single time they release something like this, it's actually the most god tier update the game will have ever seen, and then they're just like, nah, fuck that, and then they just take all the stuff away before they even show us. I wouldn't be surprised. But guys, that is it for everything that I had to cover today. Wow, I just thought about Jamaican food. That's crazy because I'm not even trying to eat that much today. But if you guys did enjoy this video, you can go down below and smack that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also comment down below whenever your king returns, right? But also, yeah, I think we're going to be looking pretty good, looking in tip-top shape for this month. We're going to be getting 7,000. So at the very least, I know I'm going to be getting 7,750 cubes. So let me add that to how many cubes I have right now. By the end of the month, I should be looking at 36,560k cubes, which by the end of the month will be 30 days. We will be like 7 days out from the anniversary, and we should get our half anniversary. We should get like a login reward thing for the half anniversary. The half anniversary should bring us free summons like it did as the first anniversary. But I think we'll be looking good. We'll be looking fine. And honestly, I do plan to spend on some cubes for the half anniversary. But I do plan to farm as many free-to-play cubes as I can first and foremost, and summon with the free-to-play cubes before I go spending money for more cubes. Just because it sucks whenever. What if I went in and paid all the way up to 7,500 cubes right now today, and then I went into the Gojo banner and I summoned him first multi? What if I did that? So in the event that I do that, because I know that I can do that, I am the Gotcha Whisperer after all. That was the moniker given to me, but I am the Gotcha Whisperer, so I know I have the ability to do that. So I'd rather not spend my money frivolously. I'd rather wait to see when I need to spend the money, because it's a long battle for me personally. It is me. I need to pick up Domain Expansion Gojo, and these are not negotiable. Like, need to pick up is exactly what I meant to say. Domain Expansion Gojo, we need Sukuna, and we need Geto. I know Geto is crazy for me to say after all of this, but I know that the JJK Zero rerun comes after the half anniversary, or the anniversary did in the JP version. So hopefully, though, it's going to be looking good for us. And honestly, since we're nearly a month out from the half anniversary, I can do a video covering how the half anniversary should look and how to be a little bit different on the global side from the JP side because of all the extra stuff we have. But nonetheless, guys, that is it for the video. Remember, the dead man always what? Loves you guys. So you make sure you have an excellent day because the dead man wishes that for you. And you guys have a good one. Peace out.